Hey, everybody. Thank you for putting up with the slightly disheveled appearance. I've been script writing all day. How are you, Kate?
I'm good. I've been filming all morning, so I am less.
You are looking amazing. I
I'm
am
looking
looking
spot
terrible
on today.
I have been writing a script on a PowerBook 150.
A modern computer.
A modern computer that's actually older than at least one of the members of staff for this channel. This is a very quick live stream. I'm doing a live stream because it's become apparent to me that YouTube does not always make community posts available, certainly for our audience. And we just wanted to make sure that everybody knew what was going on with M's Chevrolet Volt. The Volt is sick again. Beginning of this year, it started to go wrong. I ended up buying some diagnostic equipment and we connected to it. And at that time, I was like, looks like the battery thermistors are on the way out. And M took it to a dealership who was like, actually, there's another problem and it's under an extended warranty. Here, we'll fix it. Long story very short, that problem has now come back.
Yeah, I mean, it may have been that there was another problem, but the problem that we were seeing and that I think was making it undrivable is the one that you identified.
Go into limp home mode, which means you can't drive it on the freeway. You can't drive it fast. And just in case those are not sure about that, there is no way for M to get here without using freeways.
No. So it's a 70-mile round trip. So even if they were like, it's 70 miles on the freeway, even if there were, which there isn't,
yes,
it would be a very, very long journey.
So for those who don't know, because a couple of people are like, who is M? M is the owner of this car. That's the first thing.
M is our director of photography.
Our director
M is the one who makes the pretty sexy stuff.
This is M here, working on a plane. This was, when was this? I think this is our trip back from one of the events that we did, and we got bumped to first class, which was very nice. M works incredibly hard. If you've seen anything like the trailers that we have, let's see. So this trailer, even. So that trailer, and all of the other cool trailers that we do, that is M. M is responsible for all of that.
If there's a montage or a beautiful looking shot, it's M's. If there's anything it isn't, it's probably us.
Yes, if it's just a daily vlog, it's normally you or I. Occasionally, M does lend their hands to videos as well, to the daily vlogs. You can always tell when M's done one of the videos because it's always better.
Yes. Yeah. And also, you know, if the coloring is off on like, the coloring used to be fairly consistently off on my old videos, but now I'm like, M, look at this. And M
what do you think? Ditto with me, right?
Hey,
ditto with
like
me.
This.
So M's been driving this car. That's your phone.
It is. It's fine.
I just love the fact
it's live.
Yes, I love the fact you have your old-fashioned phone. Anyway, we're going to make this a really quick live stream because you have stuff to do and I have stuff to do at noon. But the too long didn't read is that M's car was crashed shortly before they came to work with Transport Evolved. They had an old Fiat, and the Fiat was written off. And the Fiat was written off in a particularly bad way. The car was hit by a hit and run driver in Portland while they were waiting for their partner. If you are of a nervous disposition, that's what the car looked like. It was, you can see from this photo, the rear wheels are where the car was parked. It was parked. They were sitting behind the wheel waiting for their partner. You can see how much it was hit and how far it was hit. Someone, there's a road here on the top right hand side of the screen. Someone came screaming down to that junction and basically power slid around the corner. And then they took out MMs Fiat, which was fully paid off and in really good condition. The insurance company never gave them the full amount because it was an uninsured driver and insurance companies. So they ended up buying this with our help, a Volt.
With the help of people from of fans and patrons, to be sure.
Actually, no.
Was that not?
They bought that through their own money, but I personally helped them find the car and whatnot. So I feel, that that was a partly
you feel
my
personally
fault.
responsible.
I feel personally responsible for it. But
yeah,
anyway,
like I do.
This car. This is from when it failed earlier in the year, and we brought it here and we tried to diagnose it. And we diagnosed a problem with the thermistor in the battery pack. Last week, when it started to go wrong, really wrong, it just refused to drive properly. And we took it to the dealership, and the dealership was like, yeah, it's a thermistor problem in the battery pack. Thermistors are tiny, very cheap. But to replace it requires you to take out the entire battery pack and replace just one module, the faulty module, and put a new one in. They quoted $6,500.
Yeah, something like that.
The car has $10,000 on it right now in terms of loan payments, because like most people, purchased this car with a loan, like most normal people do who are millennials. And I know a lot of people will go, well, why don't you just buy an old crap shit car and just do it up yourself? And the answer is you have to do 70 miles a day in it. Even on a good salary, which is what Em is on, or a modest salary, that's probably the better way of putting it. They don't have $10,000 sitting in the bank to write off this car. So there is a GoFund campaign that they have organized, which is here, that link on screen. And so far they've raised just under $4,000. It would be great if anyone watching this who's got $10, they can shove Em's way, just to help them get out of a sticky situation. They are currently working from home. They are currently borrowing my wife's car, because my wife works in the room this way, that room through there, and so doesn't have to drive to work at the moment. So we have 2 cars sitting on the driveway, so we've lent the Bolt, but that's obviously not a long-term solution. And it would be nice to get an alternative vehicle. Now, there are a couple of alternatives here. So alternative number 1 is that we try and find someone to help fix it, other than the dealership. Now, the dealership has basically said, we can fix it. It'll be $6,500. The parts are probably not going to be available for about a year. We don't know when the parts are going to be available, because we no longer make the part, and GM's not interested in keeping the Bolt. The Volt, on the road. There are local repair shops who specialize in hybrids. None of them want to touch it. We've been asking around some local shops in the Pacific Northwest. We have yet to find one who's willing to repair it for less than what the dealership has said. Kate, you are an EV Tech certified person.
Yeah.
You've gone through the hybrid training program, the EV
training
in the UK. So you can safely work on a high voltage battery pack. The thing is, we don't have access to a lift. No. And we don't know how long it would take to drop the battery pack out and do it ourselves. We're pretty confident if we had access to that equipment, we could drop it and make a video about it, and we could actually repair it and put it back on the road.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it's complicated. It's just nobody wants to open battery packs because you have to have a high voltage certified person to play with them.
And you are a high voltage certified person, at least in the UK.
I am.
At least in the
high
UK.
Voltage.
Don't make me go there. You know, they're from just down the road where I was born.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Danger. High voltage. Yeah, they're from Lowestoft, I think, originally.
Oh, that explains
I'm from Great Yarmouth, which is the one up the next town up the coast. Anyway,
similarities. Anyway, back to them.
What are you saying about people from the Waveney Valley, Kate?
Nothing at all. Nothing.
So the price of the parts alone, we don't know, right? Because GM is saying, yeah, it's not part of the Volt recall. That is a later model year car.
Yeah.
There was a recall campaign on M's year of Volt, but it's already had the recall done. And so the dealership's like, we've already done that reprogram, which makes me think there are already other sensors that have died in the car. You can't run it in gasoline only mode because it is in super low power mode. So we are at this point where we're like, we need to help our colleague and frankly our friend find an alternative. Now, at the moment, M's like, I'm probably going to have to go back to gas if you know.
Yeah, I mean, M doesn't have the cash. Like EVs, we our constant mantra: we need cheaper EVs, and
right.
Yeah, this is why.
Right. And this is again the repairability. It's something we talk about. There are people trying to open source the Volt. Someone told us there's someone in Texas, but Texas is a really long way. We can't just tow a car. I mean, for us to tow the car to Texas, for a start, we can't safely go to Texas. You and I.
Yeah, M could potentially go, but not with us.
And that would take extra time and stuff. So the part is basically a thermistor.
It's basically a temperature sensor in the pack.
It's a temperature sensor. And what it does is when the temperature changes, it changes its resistance. Now, I don't know if it's a positive or a negative temperature coefficient. I don't know if you know, Kate.
No, I don't know. But the part itself is, you could probably pick up a generic compatible component for a couple of bucks. In fact, frankly,
from my parts store.
Yeah, well, from a parts store, I mean, it's just an electronic component. You could buy it from RS or what have you.
Yeah. And
the problem is that it's inside the pack.
So you have to drop the pack. You have to open the pack up. We don't have the ability to drop it here at the studio at my house. You don't have the space to do it at your house. If we had access to a lift and we had access to a battery lift, we could do it. I mean, we've even got a tent we could temporarily put up somewhere to keep the car safe while we look at it. The problem is the battery pack's heavy. You need proper equipment to do it. The other challenge is we don't have anywhere perfectly flat to do it here. And obviously the last thing you want is to be lifting up a car on a slope and dropping out a heavy battery pack that will want to roll down the slope.
Yeah, I mean, really, it would be ideal if we could find a garage that was willing to either work with us and let us do it, or we could,
yeah. And we have an engine hoist. We have an engine hoist. So once it's out of the vehicle, we can lift it up on an engine hoist and lift out the particular module and put, I'm going to use the engine hoist to put the battery pack in my Vectrex, but that's a very different physical size to what we're talking about here. So please go to that link if you can and help M out. It would be good to get to a point where they're not underwater. So a couple of things M hasn't talked about. M is engaged, right? They are looking at getting married at some point in the near future. They've been saving for a long time, but every time they get any kind of savings, something happens that throws them off the thing. They've had bad luck after bad luck this year. There is a do-it-yourself garage in Portland, but I'm not sure they let you work on EVs. And additionally, the question then becomes, what, you can drop the pack out, but do you then what do you do with the car there? Because you can't leave the car there. Then you'd have to take the car, put it back on a trailer, bring it back with the battery pack separately. I
mean, it depends how long we think it's going to take. Like,
we also need a special bleeding kit for the battery pack. You have to have a special.
Good.
Because it's a liquid cool battery pack. So you need a tool that GM makes specifically for plug-in vehicles that allows you to do that. So again, that is a bit of a nightmare. So If this was M's other car, if it was a project vehicle like Kate's Morris Minor, or I had a secondary project vehicle, this wouldn't be a problem, right?
No, but it is
But
M's only car. M is the
it's
only
M's,
person in the house who drives for
right?
health reasons.
So that is a big challenge too. And like I say, we do need to have access to these speciality tools to make sure we properly drain the battery, and then we properly bleed the battery, because if the battery isn't properly bled and you put everything back together and there's air in the coolant line to the battery, that could ultimately cause long-term problems. So it's a little bit harder to work on than, say, a Nissan Leaf battery, which a Nissan Leaf battery is literally isolate the pack, drop the pack down, disconnect everything, and you're good, as opposed to this, which has a few more steps. And of course, it's an internal combustion engine as well. So there's extra things underneath the car that you have to deal with when dropping the pack. We are at a point where if M can sell the car on for parts, which is what it's starting to look like, as if no one will touch it for a reasonable price, that will be our only solution, is to sell it on for parts. We've got one potential lead of somebody south of Portland who is selling a battery pack and says that they'll offer it with a warranty. And we've just about raised enough money to make that happen, in which case then we could fix the car. M could then sell it on, because I think they don't want to keep the car at this point because it's let them down so many times this year. So we'll see if that's a solution. And I know some people are going to say, A, you're begging. No, we're just going, hey, help this person out. And I'm a Brit. I don't like asking for money on behalf of other people. I mean, I'm not asking for money for me. I'm saying, hey, could you support this team member? But at the same time, it's fairly common in America, as I've come to understand, because we don't pay people enough. Housing is ridiculously expensive, etc., etc., etc. If you have any solutions, if you know of anybody who can help, please let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
Right now, they are looking to try and raise the amount of money that would be required to pay off their loan, because you can't sell a car that still has a loan on it. M could fix the car. We're nearly at the spend enough money to fix it, but then it could be a year of just sitting there not being drivable, which is not tenable, which is completely untenable. So if you have any suggestions, please let us know. We'll see what we can do. I think that's all really we can add, right, Kate?
I think so.
So I've personally donated some money to this.
I will be. I just didn't have time yesterday to do it, and it's got a while to run as a GoFundMe. So I was like, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I've sent some money to it. Not some of your money, some of my own personal money, which by proxy is basically money that my wife has earned.
Yes, because you don't get paid by Transport.
I don't pay myself very often with Transport Evolved, but just so that you know, that is the situation as it stands. If you are willing to help, we would be eternally grateful. Okay, I'm going to go. Kate's going to go. We're going to go and have our meeting in 9 minutes, and sometime between now and then, we have to scarf some lunch. So thank you very much for your help. There is a link in the description, and let's see if we can help him out. Because, based on the awesome work that they do on this channel, they really deserve to have a reliable form of transport. Yes, the reason there's still so much on the loan is because they bought it at the height of the pandemic, when auto loans were pretty big and when cars were being priced really stupidly high. So
I have a bit of a very quick concern.
Go
I
on.
just followed that link and it's not working for me.
Oh, it's not working.
Not for me.
Oh, all right. Well, let me share this again. Let me see if I can. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to copy it and share it. Let me hide it. Let me edit it. Let me copy and paste and share again. No, it is that link, and it works for me.
1C67038.
Yep, it works for me.
1C67038. No, doesn't work for me.
All right. Well, we'll link to it in the show notes.
We'll have to, yeah.
And we'll see what we can do. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Keep evolving.
Bye.